Welcome to Wednesday's Words of Wisdom from the farm. And as you can see, I'm out on the ice, the pond, just getting her cleared off for a little skating. What a beautiful morning. It was a bit of a miserable night, cold, like -20, and snow, and just miserable. But it turned out to be a beautiful day. You know, this pond right here, I'll never forget the youth group coming over and playing pond hockey and playing in our barn boots broom ball. And we had two goalies, and both of which never played sports a day of their life, but they came out and they were so involved. The one had spinal bifida, and yet he was a trooper. And I remember the other one, and he said, I can't do it, I can't do it. We're like, you can do it. And he never missed a youth event or even activity that we did. But you know, he went through some tough times. I remember when he first came out to youth group, and he was really shy and insecure, and he would hardly talk. And then he really came out of his shell, and he was the life of the party. And I'll never forget one week, I said, does anyone want to come up and share at youth group? And he walked up to the front, and it wasn't like him because he just wouldn't get up in front of people. And he got up in front of like 40 kids, and he said, you want to know something? My life was really hard. I went through a lot of stuff. I took a lot of abuse and a lot of teasing and a lot of surgeries, and life was really hard. But your group, this youth group, always showed me love and always made me feel a part of it. And he said, I just want to thank you. And he looked me in the eye and he said, with tears coming down his face, and he said, Tim, I just want to thank you. I love you guys. And I got up and I gave him a big hug, and I'm crying. I said, we love you too. You know, in Psalms 30, verse 5, it says, weeping and mourning will be for the night, but joy comes in the morning. Weeping may endure through the night, but joy comes in the morning. I think, like he went through, just weeping and hard times, and then joy. It was just the summer before last, though, again, mourning. He got rushed to the hospital, and his body was shutting down, this young man that I just shared about. And they had him on life support, and they said he's not going to make it. And several times family got called in, and I'll never forget, they had him stabilized on life support, tubes in him in London. And I went and I just held his hand, and he couldn't respond or anything. And I just said a prayer over him, just said, we love you, buddy. And he came out of it again. And it was months after, and he came home, and it was incredible. And I'll never forget, we celebrated his birthday with a drive-by and stopped off gifts. And I love seeing his one-liners that he even puts on. If he's having a tough day or a good day, he'll put these one-liners on. I'll never forget, as a youth group, him and I being foosball partners and winning the foosball trophy, and him parading all through the house with this little trophy. There's great times, but there's also mourning times. I don't know what you're going through. I think everyone's going through a tougher time than normal. Some are going through death, tragedy, despair, frustration. Like David says in Psalms 30, weeping might last for a while, but joy is on the way. There's better times ahead. And I want to encourage you to stay focused on that joy, to find joy even in the midst of tragedy. It's hard, I know, but remember, joy is on the way. Allow joy in your life. And that has been Wednesday's Words of Wisdom from the farm. Take care. God bless.
The time has come to make a choice, and I choose.